All right, well, in this episode, I'm going to walk you through my new Starlink. So during my last trip, if you recall, I was using the older Starlink right here. Now, this one I've had for a little over a year, and it works well. The only thing is that you have to set it up every time you get somewhere. So what I had done, and this worked fairly well, was I had this piece of PVC pipe and I had it attached to the back of the van right here. And then, I had it up a little higher. And then every time I got somewhere and I wanted to set up, I would take this out of the back of the van and I would put it in just like this. And then I would, hoist it back up. So all of that was a little cumbersome. So there was this one day, for instance, I was at Hershey, Pennsylvania at the Chocolate World, and it was pouring rain, but I really wanted to upload a video to YouTube. So I was like, God dang it, I gotta, get outside and hoist this thing up. So, I did it and I ran the wires and everything else and it was fine, but it was kind of a pain to do that. And then I have to store this in the van, whenever I'm driving around. So, you got to be thoughtful about how you use your space. So then Starlink comes out with the new mobility, the Starlink in motion. And so this is what I've got up here. So I rigged this and I think this is going to be great. So this is a new Starlink and it is bigger than the old one. It's quite a lot bigger, but it can, number one, be mounted to the roof of a car. It's approved to be mounted to the roof of a car and to be used while you're in motion. So you could use it on a boat or something like that too, which is, a lot of people are going to do that. So what I decided to do on this was, it came with this wedge mount right here, this metal wedge mount, the 4 screws and the screws to bolt it to the roof of your car. But I don't like cutting holes into the roof of a car if I can avoid it. So what I decided to do, I needed to mount it high enough so that it wasn't getting blocked by anything on the roof. So what you can see here is I bought this Pelican case right here, and then I used these sea-sucker mounts that are right here. Now these are each rated to like 100 pounds of weight, and they are a vacuum suction on the roof, and you push this in like that, and then once it's pushed in, you won't see the orange because they're fully engaged. So I have this mounted just like this, and then the cable for the Starlink goes down through a hole that was already here in the roof for the backup camera. All right, so this is a great solution, I think, for me, because now I don't have to set it up every time I get somewhere. Now I can still take it off the roof anytime I want, and also now I have this extra storage. So that's kind of the other cool thing, is now I can store some stuff right in here. So, and you can see how this is mounted just like that. And I've got a little silicone there, so it's not gonna leak. All right, so clip that back in like that. All right, so we're gonna climb back down. So now I've got that new Starlink on the roof. I've already tested it out and it works well. The internet is great. It's a larger receiver, comparatively. This one's not tiny, but that one's bigger. What some people have done is they've carved this, they've cut into it and removed the motor. And when they remove the motor, then they mount it flat on the roof. But comparatively, that one's going to be better because it's a larger receiver and it's also designed to be mounted flat. Well, it's got the wedge, but it's designed to be mounted on the roof, whereas this has the motor and it's designed to kind of move and articulate a little bit based on, where the satellites are. And I think one thing that's nice about Starlink is that because they're launching more satellites, it's going to keep getting better and better and better. So, it's on the up and up, which is good in terms of making progress. This old dish, not sure what I'm going to do with it. It was 600 bucks when I bought it. You know what I might do is I might actually mount it to the roof of my garage here, because then when I'm home, I'll have a third backup. So right now I've got fiber as my primary, then I have my hotspot as my secondary, and then this could be the third, which, you know, was actually better than a hotspot. So they have some nice little mounts that you can use to mount something like that up on your roof. The only problem is you have to make sure you've got a good view of the sky, and they prefer sort of northern, which is that way. So that's south right there, that's north. So if I put it up on the corner up there, it's kind of going to be shaded by these trees up in this area. So that, I don't know if that's going to work super well, and I don't want to mount it in a funny spot. Anyways, so I'm going to figure that out. But one of the drawbacks to the Starlink in general is that they do use a lot of power. So what, and this new one's a little bit different because it actually has two boxes. So the cable comes down right here. It's tucked in and hidden out of the way, and then right here what I'm going to do is kind of reconfigure how I'm going to have this mounted. So first we have the power receiver, which I think is this guy here. Yeah, this is the one that is coming in from the roof. So this is the power receiver, and they actually include this Ethernet cable, which you can see right here. So I could plug this in, have the Ethernet plugged into my computer, and then I don't need this. This is just for Wi-Fi right here. But, you know, for my phone, for watching or streaming on my phone, and if there's other people in the car, I think I'm going to want to plug this in. So what I was thinking for right now was that I might mount each of these to the back right here, something like that. I don't want to mount the Wi-Fi tucked inside the cabinet, so I might mount both of these to the back, and then back in here I'm going to have to drill a little hole and get power from my batteries over there. So run the power right through here, and then I'll have the power receiver, the Starlink Wi-Fi, and have this all kind of tucked away. Because when I'm trading here, when I've got this set up, you know, for trading, I want to have things kind of nice and tidy, you know. So I've got a trade here, these monitors flip down, and you know, having all these cables and then, you know, all this stuff doesn't really work super well. So that's fine for right now, but that's kind of my goal, is to get this nice and tidy so I can sit down, I can trade, and I could do that basically on a moment's notice because I don't have to set this up. It's just good to go. So that's my update on the new Starlink in motion. I'll keep you posted on how it goes. You know, obviously I hope that it works well. I think that it will, but I'll keep you posted on the progress, what I think of it, and yeah, let me know what you guys are using for your internet. Some of you might already have this set up, and maybe you'll be able to give me some tips on what's worked well for you. So anyways, that's the setup right there for the new Starlink.